Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show you some Kriel in some atmospheric weather here. Been working on a lot of Kriel stuff, some new buildings, and a little bit more on a starter CV. But just thought I'd show you all this stuff here, a little mood atmosphere. Um, Now these are buildings that you've seen already in past videos. This is the Kriel Brooder POI. Um, This is the Kriel Ari, which is a player base. Um, but now on to a bunch of new stuff. I'm going to start with this oddball structure over here. This is a POI. It's not fully finished yet. I don't have the interior complete on it. But this is a very unique building design-wise. Just trying to be exotic. It's got some landing pads on it. It's going to be a place to just, loot and destroy. It does have a fair amount of defenses on it as well, so it's not too super easy to take over. But it is only made of concrete, so it's not super tough materials. Um, and it's just weird how this thing breaks up, and when you walk inside, you're inside but outside. It's an unusual setup. Um, so that is one new building. On the starter base here, I've got quite a bit more going on with this now. I'm trying to figure out what it should come with stock versus what it's going to cost. Now, in the current version here, I don't have any constructors or the tier 2 CPU block, which I'll have to figure that out a little bit better. But it's cheap. It's got a 31 minute and 34-second build time, doesn't require any rares. It does require 9 concrete growing plots. I'm not sure how hard that's going to be to manufacture for a 31-minute base. Um, but what it does have right now is it has 6 large cargo boxes, ammo box, has 5 turrets on the outside. They're all cannons. O2, fridge, food processor, armor locker. Has room to add in a med station, um, 2 constructors, big constructors of any type, or deconstructor. Upstairs it has, here's where 2 more of the cargo boxes are, and a 9 grow plot farm. Then your core is up over here. Now I left areas on the side here, although I could have filled it in with fancy blocks just to add in more things. So you could add in some more storage, or even put in a small cargo container system if you wanted to. You could also do that down here by ripping out the floor of it, which is mostly just concrete down there. So, but anyway, it's a cheap structure with a quick build time. Now I was debating if I throw in even a large constructor. We're not talking advanced. If I throw in a large constructor, then it needs to have a CPU tier 2 block added in by default. And that's my dilemma. Should I do that or should I not do that? If I add in that tier 2 CPU block, then it's going to need cobalt, it's going to need other stuff to build it, which is going to take a little bit longer to build, but then you'd be up and running with a constructor in here too. So I'm not sure which way to go. Any opinion on that would be helpful. Um, I usually, when I spawn a base, it's kind of nice, as soon as I spawn it, it's ready to go. At least with your basic needs. So that's my big dilemma on this one. So moving on to the next place, we've got this thing here, and this is a Kriel defensive structure. This one's really loaded up to the max. Well, not to the max, but it has a lot of turrets on it. A lot of firing angles. Any direction you come at this base, you're going to get hit with at least 4 turrets, probably an artillery, sometimes more turrets than that, depending on direction. Plus, up top, you've got 4 sideways turrets that can fire up and above the base as well. So I don't have the interior done on this one yet. It has 2 points of entry on the front and then on the rear over here. And kind of see what this looks like. And I'm trying to make this all dark and scary. That's why the storm and the darker lighting seems appropriate. So inside here it'll have 2 or 3 floors, and there'll be a core in here to destroy somewhere. But I got to build out the interior yet on it. So another structure I was working on is this crazy thing over here. And this I just started texturing it. Obviously a lot of parts aren't textured yet. I haven't even added a entry point into this yet, so I might have to expand out the base and get a doorway in there. But this is a communications tower, like a big antenna. It's not as defended as the other buildings, but it still does have 4 turrets. The Kriel are pretty hostile and pretty violent that way, so it's rare to find any career buildings that don't have a lot of weapons on them, because they're into that. So, but so 3 of these 4 things I just showed you are POIs. So this guy, and this one over here are all POIs. This is a micro player base, and then obviously your other big player base that I built a while ago, and another POI. So now I keep on wanting to make more and more content for this, so I'm going to keep on jamming this group out first here and get these figured out, so we can have like a whole Kriel civilization here. If you are playing the game and discover a Kriel place, there'll be a lot of options and things that could spawn there. Let me fix the weather here a minute. And get it back over to daylight. So some other things I've been working on too. I did work on this Kriel Starter CV some more. Started getting the hangar done, but it's not fully finished yet. But I started getting the walls kind of laid out and where the parts are going to go, things like that. Now basically it's got a shield spot, and this is going to be an add-on generator. It's one that you would add in if you add a shield. Got the gravity generator out in the hangar now. It has 3 200K storage bins, 1 advanced constructor, and 2 small constructors. All the regular stuff over here, med, O2, food stuff, armor locker. Armor repair would go right over here. And I think I'll probably have to get rid of that block and leave room for a repair console over here and make a sealed area for a repair bay in the middle of the floor as normal. And tax tags up there, Wi-Fi's there. So that's kind of in the hangar area. Now what's left, I got to do the floor and the ceiling of the hangar and get the rest of the lights in. Moving through this ship, you get into this area. I managed to clean up some of the parts that were here because I wanted to make up more room. Another add-on thing would be adding the tier 3 CPU blocks. I was just trying to get them situated on where I want them to go. The warp core is chilling out up here, and there'll be a spot for offline protection somewhere in this room. Might move a little bit, I'm not sure yet. And the core will probably be about where it is, but a little bit more protected on the front side. When you come up here, you get to the bridge. Not much going on there, and then you got a little farm section of 18 grow plots that kind of overlooks the hangar. I might change this the glass here too. I'm not sure if I like what I got going on there. And this last stairway here goes out to the landing pad on the back of the ship. And of course, down here you've got the walkway going out the front of the ship over here. So this one's coming along pretty good. Spec-wise, it's sitting slightly over tier 2 right now on CPU, and it's bothering me a little bit. And I keep on trying to make little cuts and things to make it work, but I think I could remove a fuel tank. It's possible I could remove a couple side thrusters too. I was comparing this to the MCR and Pioneer on what it had, and this ship, for instance, has 1 more turret than the MCR and Pioneer. It has 4 up top and 2 on the bottom. Also has locations. I gotta define these a little better. 6 spots to add in mining drills, or your CV miners. So it'll be capable of doing that. It does not have a harvest set up inside it though. That's another issue. It's going to need that if you add in mining drills. So I'll have to figure that one out and somehow try to balance the CPU on it. The goal is to have it come as a tier 2 and then you upgrade it to tier 3. Now I don't think I'll be able to get a shield operational in this ship at tier 2. I think that's going to be a tier 3 thing on this one, simply because of it's a little bit more expensive in the design, I think, and then of course it has an extra turret too, so I think that's a lot to do with it. So yep, I'll keep on getting that done and keep on finishing up these other buildings here. But this is kind of wave 1 on building some POIs for the Kriel. And yeah, if you guys want to build anything, especially like structures for the Kriel, and think you can kind of do this kind of look or whatnot, or even build something and like have me take a look at it and I can give you a heads up, or even like do like part of it and send it back to you, and so you could get a good idea on what I would do in the same situation. But yeah, hopefully all this stuff will kind of make the game interesting, and at least for another faction in the game. And I plan on building more and more of this stuff until there's quite a lot of it. A lot of planets, a lot of places to explore, and the more content that there is to explore, the cooler it's going to be. So that's kind of the way I see it. More the merrier, but of course I want all these Kriel things to be kind of, well, I want them to feel Kriel, you know, and be kind of exotic in nature and follow the same scheme and things like that. Now some other things, this guy I do want to get back to again too. This was intended to be a Kriel AI controlled ship. And this one's got quite a lot of guns on it, and it'd be fairly fierce, not indestructible by any stretch, but fairly fierce. And you know, if you're running around with a starter CV and this comes at you, you probably want to go the other way. But if you got something else, you probably would want to engage it. Something big and beefy. And this thing, I built this a little while back, and I'm not exactly sure what to do with it yet. I like the bottom of it a lot, but I don't know if it really feels Kriel to me either. I do like the architecture. I don't care necessarily for what I did on the top part of it. Well, who knows? Maybe I'll just add a little cosmetic stuff and texture it, and it could be a Kriel POI or something as well. Not sure yet. Or I blow away the top and build something new there. Something like that. That's about all I got for you today. Been pretty busy with a lot of this stuff and doing a lot of building lately. Been fun though. I love building the Kriel though. I mean, they are fun to build. They're a bit annoying to texture, but you know, what race isn't? Biggest problems I got with Kriel is the fact that, especially when you're going from concrete and then you have to use some blocks that are of steel or other things so you can get access to different textures so you can kind of finish the build. And I'd like to get in the the Xeno blocks or alien blocks. I think it's the Xeno blocks as well in some of these to add in some more texture possibilities and things like that. But that's where I'm at, and just curious what you think of these different things. And all right. Anyway, like always, stay safe, and hopefully this whole pandemic thing eventually kind of goes away. Probably after there's a vaccine. But hey, at least you can build stuff, right? All right. See you later, all.